This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent professors, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come, ma'am?
Yes, please come in.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Rishendra.
Morning, sir.
Rishendra,
Yes, ma'am.
come, please sit down.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
What happened? Your flight was late? Your train was
Yes,
late?
ma'am. My train was late.
कहाँ से? कौन सी ट्रेन से आ रहे हैं आप?
Ma'am, I'm traveling from Bihar Sampark Kranti and I've boarded from Kanpur.
So you're coming from Unnao?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. सफीपुर के गुलाब जामुन खाए हैं?
Sorry, ma'am.
Not eaten? अरे उन्नाव के हैं आप? How have you not eaten सफीपुर के गुलाब जामुन? क्या किया आपने फिर? All right. Who is one of the most famous sons of Unnao?
Ma'am, the first name that comes to my mind is definitely Chandrasekhar Azad.
Absolutely right. Yes. Where did he belong to in Unnao, incidentally?
Ma'am, I believe he belonged to this place called 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢𝐨 and there is one small village in 𝐏𝐵𝐞𝐢𝐨. I think that is the place.
Okay, very good. And what is the dilemma of Unnao? The strength and its dilemma?
Ma'am, firstly for the strength, ma'am, I think Unnao is a very small city and because of that,
It's a district.
ma'am, yes ma'am, it is a district. Ma'am, it is a very small district and because of that, people know each other and there is a lot of social harmony in that sense. Ma'am, for example, in COVID-19 also, ma'am, there was a lot of collaboration among people. And ma'am, if we come to dilemma part, ma'am, I think the major dilemmas that are there in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, that is definitely the drainage pattern, the infrastructural part, ma'am, those are the big issues. Ma'am, and the biggest one I think is the safety and security of women. Because Unnao has recently, unfortunately, ma'am, it has been known as the rape capital of Uttar Pradesh. So that is a very big issue.
It was one particular incident. But actually, Unnao, the harmony, what they say is that, one of the things the magistrate does, one of the duties is recording dying declarations. Yes. Somebody has been attacked and unnatural death is likely to occur. So a magistrate is called to record a declaration, which is a very convincing piece of evidence in a murder trial. So now there are no dying declarations because they just cut the head off. No declaration, nothing.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not aware of these incidents.
I started my career there, so I know. All right. Very good. Its dilemma, don't you think it is situated between Lucknow and Kanpur? So it's its strength and its dilemma both, because some development trickles there from both sides and yet it's separate. No staff stays there. They commute up and down always.
Definitely that is
I
a
would
very
have thought
big...
you would have said that first of all. All right. Never mind.
Ma'am, that is a big issue because these two particular districts act as a counter magnet.
Of course, yes. Now, so let's move on. So, Nicaragua is in the news for the wrong reasons. Why is that?
Ma'am, it is basically a Central American country. Ma'am, I think, ma'am, ma'am, I believe that it is because of the high inflation that is there and various issues such as ma'am, the part that plays by the social stigmas that are there, that is a big issue, if I can recall it correctly.
Okay, all right. So, have you heard of the lithium triangle?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
Ma'am, there are 3 countries which constitute approximately 70% of the lithium of the world. Ma'am, the first is Argentina. Ma'am, then we have Bolivia. Ma'am, and then the western part that is Chile. Ma'am, these are the 3 countries.
All right. But why do you say Western, Eastern anyway? Okay. So papers today carry 2 stories about Middle East. The Middle East crisis. Can you tell the stories in 2 sentences? What exactly is significance of both of them?
Ma'am, the first one that I can recall is about the Qatar. Ma'am, the individuals that were convicted for spying in Qatar. Ma'am, that is the first one. Ma'am, the second is
they were convicted for spying. Has that been announced that the offense was spying?
Ma'am, I feel, ma'am, the Qatari government has been...
You feel, but has it been announced that it was actually spying, or it's...
Ma'am, the basic causes and the cases were not being...
All right, never mind. Yes, so you were saying that...
Ma'am, the first one was that Qatar, ma'am, and the second one is...
So what exactly was the Qatar? What is the news about it?
Ma'am, the news was that few individuals, I think the few ex-naval persons of India were staying over there, and they were being convicted for spying on the Qatari government. It was a certain case like that.
So what happened?
Ma'am, I'm not sure about the details, ma'am.
What's in the papers today about that?
Ma'am, the biggest news in the Middle East definitely is the Hamas and Israel issue that is being very much in recent news.
What is that? What?
Ma'am,
You have to be a little specific. What is in the news today about the Gaza Strip, not Hamas in Israel, the Gaza?
Ma'am, the Israel have basically attacked the central part of the Gaza. Ma'am, that is the very recent news, ma'am, because they had previously attacked the...
What is virtual water?
Ma'am, the virtual water is basically the things that we export. Ma'am, for example, we have basmati, and basmati takes in a lot amount of, guzzles in a lot amount of water. Ma'am, and we export that to other nation. Ma'am, so...
Come again? Virtual water is... Come again? What did you say?
Ma'am, virtual water is the water exported by our nation, which is not visible to us, tangible. It is not tangible to us in the certain form, but intangibly we export it to other nations. For example, the basmati that I just mentioned.
Achha. Okay, very good. Being a geography student, which area would you like to be asked about?
Ma'am, I like reading and watching things that are very much tangible. So physical aspect of the geography is very much attracts me.
So the most physical aspect is Uttarakhand, which is asked of every person who is studying geography.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened in Joshimath?
Ma'am, the Joshimath case was basically of the land subsidence. Ma'am, what happened was that, ma'am, a lot of influx of tourists and also developmental activities that were happening along with the hydroelectric power potential that was there in the northern part of Joshimath. Ma'am, because of that, subsidence happened.
And what about Silkyara? What's the connecting point between the two?
Ma'am, I think the connecting point is the Char Dham Pariyojana that the government is building. Ma'am, that is the biggest connecting point. Ma'am, widening of the roads, it is causing the sedimentary deposits that are there in the southern Shivaliks. Ma'am, that is...
What is the solution? Practical solution, give 3 points.
Ma'am, the first is definitely the environmental impact assessment. That should be done.
That's all been done.
Ma'am, I think...
Joshimath, it was done. Mishra committee and what committee, and nothing was followed.
Ma'am, Mishra committee did suggested that there should be...
You don't have to elaborate what it is. I'm asking what should be done.
Ma'am, the environmental impact assessment has been done by part right now. Ma'am, it should be done holistically, not just by part. Ma'am, the first thing is that...
What is going to be gained by that beyond what is already... Okay, tell me, what is available as way of recommendation already?
Sorry, ma'am.
What recommendations are already available?
Ma'am, the
Tell
first...
them what they are.
Ma'am, the first one is definitely the Mishra committee that you just...
What is it?
Ma'am, it is to...
3 points.
Ma'am, firstly, to develop the areas in an eco-sustainable manner, the sustainable development part. Ma'am, the second one is definitely the part that is missing. Ma'am, for example, we have this developmental scenarios that are taking place, tourism. Ma'am, then the plastic scenario.
Rishendra,
Sir.
what's your view on growing demand for caste census?
Sir, recently the demand has been increasing. Ma'am, sir, the biggest reason because of it is the historical injustices and also the apportionment of the castes of the reservations that is being given to some larger sections which are dominant in society. So that has to be tackled. So what is happening is that the issue of these census, the issue of these census is happening in a certain irregular manner. Sir, apart from that, what my personal opinion is that, ma'am, the caste census should be done in a manner which not only sustains the society, ma'am, but it should also it should be done in a manner that is functional also. On the aspect, for example, we have sub-categorization of OBC by the Justice Rohini Commission. Ma'am, it has also...
slower. Relax and speak slower.
Sir, it has also recommended about these sub-categorization. So caste census should be added in that particular manner so that larger portion is get benefited, which is currently not being benefited right now.
Okay, so you are in for caste census.
Sir, adequately data-driven caste census.
Okay. This restless protest is again in news.
Sir.
What is the new flashpoint?
Sir, the recent event has happened, and that is because that the new wrestling federation that was being elected, ma'am, sir, it has not been very much. I would say, sir, it is not. It is doing certain actions which are not, which should not be happening at that particular residence of the ex.
What actions?
The happening of the particular committee, or the happening of those particular situations in the house of that particular president that was being asked. Sorry, sir.
Well, recently there was this allegation by first Canada and then by US regarding the alleged assassination attempts on first Canadian and then American citizen, right? So how do you see this? It's a diplomatic failure on India's side, or a tectonic shift in India's foreign policy or diplomatic efforts?
So the Canadian government has proclaimed that India has committed killings of Khalistani supporters that are there in Canada. Sir, I personally think that information should be given by the Canadian internationals to the Indian nation, like that has been done by the US. So we should support the rule of law in this particular instance to the extreme, like our Honorable Prime Minister has recently mentioned also.
So it's a diplomatic failure or a tectonic shift?
Sir, I would believe it is a tectonic shift in a diplomacy, because we are now on the global level, and every action that we take is being.
What has been the stance of our MEA?
So the Ministry of External Affairs, sir, it is tending to support all allegations that are being proven upon it, sir, only and only in those circumstances where information is being provided about the issue. Like in the case of Canada, the right information has not been provided by the Trudeau government that is there right now.
So you play football, right? How does the football swing?
Football
Swing. If you hit a football, it swings. Do you know the mechanism of swing of a ball?
So the exact mechanism I'm not sure of. The physical principles.
How do you swing the football?
Sir, if we come to the mechanical, or rather the physical aspect of it, there is this technique called banana kicking of the ball, and also about this ball where we strike the ball between of the ball, and it aerodynamics in certain manner that it moves in a certain direction.
You have studied mathematics, right? You should be knowing that, right?
Sir, I believe it is a principle of physics, I would say, sir.
You have done B.SC, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a part of mathematics,
Yes,
not
sir.
physics.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, that's all from my side.
Hello, Rishendra.
Hello, sir.
So, big fan of Ronaldo, not Messi.
Sir, because sir, there is no particular reason of it. The thing is that I pretty much admire that player.
Okay. Anyways, there was a controversy regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. His images were viral, supporting. He took a stance on Israel-Palestine war. Israel-Palestine war. Are you aware? His images were, he was supposed to be carrying a flag.
Sir, I think those were the fake images that were being circulated in the media.
So he didn't support.
Sir,
he didn't took a stance.
Sir, the players do take stands, but in this particular instance, I do not think, sir, he took.
So do you think sports persons should actually take a stance on issues that are political in nature?
So definitely, sir, because they have a wide reach, and if the position they take is right and righteousness and duty-driven position, ma'am, so that's
okay. When people say that India is not playing Pakistan, they say that sports should not be mixed with politics. Then the argument totally shifts. So what is your stance? Should sports and politics go together?
Sir, I believe they should go together, but in this particular instance, in Pakistan case, sir,
they can go together, but there are conditions.
Sir, definitely, sir. This condition is that because the hostile enemy that we are having, they are constantly doing insurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, and the issue is also the lack of communication between the two countries to a certain point. But yes, sir, I do see sports as a unifying factor.
But sports persons, again, they might not be fully aware of the nuances of a political matter.
Yes, sir.
Because they are focused on sports, they might not have complete understanding. So don't you think that they taking a political stance can actually, and they have a lot of following, so they can actually make the matter worse rather than helping the cause?
So I think these decisions should be taken on a policy level by the diplomats that are there about the relationship between the two countries, not by the sports players, sir, who, as you said, sir, lack particular knowledge about the depth of the issues that are there, sir.
Okay, and you said that India shouldn't be playing with Pakistan?
Yes, sir, I did say that.
So should we let the relationship with Pakistan deteriorate, or should we take any, maybe like we say that track 2, track 2.5. So should we make that effort in that respect, or should we just let the status quo prevail with respect to relationship with Pakistan?
Sir, like our external minister has said that the relationships are very clear. We have in the past pursued communication with Pakistan. But sir, the repeated negotiations that are there, they are futile to a certain extent because of the Kashmir issues that we have, the CAA issue that we have, and also now the lack of communication is also to an extreme. So that particular reason, sir, suggests that the communication should be from their side, not from our side. As
okay, Mr. Nawaz Sharif is, it is being said that he might become a potential prime minister when the elections happen. He's poised to win the elections. At least that is the condition right now. And he has actually advocated that, the relationship with India has to improve. So do you think that if Mr. Sharif comes to the power and he takes an initiative, should India respond positively then?
Sir, I personally think that these relationships, these relationship talks that are being done, sir, previously also when Mr. Imran Khan got elected, he was also very vocal about these international relations between India and Pakistan, but they did not materialize. Sir, because there is a lot of issue of army-controlled politics that we are having. So the same can be...
What is India's condition for talks to begin, or to, for a situation to change? So what specific condition?
The first thing is definitely the normalization of the ties because of the terrorism issue that is in the Jammu and Kashmir, and also the CAA stance that we took, and that is negated by Pakistan.
CAA is an issue in India-Pakistan relationship?
Sir, I feel because of the...
Has Government of India, any functionary has categorically mentioned that CAA is a conditionality for talks to begin?
Sorry, sir, I'm not sure about it, sir.
Okay, thank you, Rishendra. That's all from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Rishendra, I think you are having a background of science and technology, right?
Sir.
What is metaverse?
So metaverse is a field of science where things are not visible. So for example, if we say that we use cryptocurrency, so cryptocurrency in such is not visible. And if we see the non-fungible tokens that is being created, so that is also not visible to us in a tangible manner in the physical space.
What is the difference between cryptocurrency and NFTs?
So I would say cryptocurrency is controlled by blockchain, and that is also controlled by blockchain. But the major difference is that the cryptocurrencies are being used to buy these non-fungible tokens, and these non-fungible tokens are a certain commodity in the visible phenomenon, and that is being converted into digital format. So I feel that is one particular difference. Whereas cryptocurrency is just a currency, we could say, that could be used to buy or sell these non-fungible tokens.
Okay, so what is about a digital divide? Can you elaborate what is digital divide?
Digital divide. So digital divide occurs in various forms. Firstly, that comes to my mind is the rural and the urban divide. So in the rural areas, approximately only 65 to 70% of the internet is being provided. Apart from it, sir, there is also a divide between the use of digital devices by women and male counterparts. That is one big issue. And so these are the two right now that I can think.
What are the consequences of the digital divide? What is the major challenge right now the law enforcement agencies are facing?
So the major challenge, I believe, is the economic one, because these digital divides, they tend to de-economize the women in particular and large section of backward society in general.
What about cyber crimes?
So cyber crimes is also a big issue that is coming up, and recently also in the case of AIIMS, and then we have the Kundankulam power plant in Chennai that was being hijacked during the COVID-19 pandemic as claimed by us as a China-sponsored authority. So it is a big issue that is happening, sir.
Okay. You have also, I think, optionally geography. So what are the various types of energy?
Energy. Sir, energy in the space of, in the physical field, I will say that physical energy that is happening from that we get from sun, then that is converted to other form. But if we come to science, sir, I'll say kinetic energy, potential energy, mechanical energy, these are the things.
What about various types of power plants?
So the power plants, they work on the nuclear phenomenon, the nuclear fission that we have.
Apart from nuclear power plants, what are the other types of power plants?
So there are various power plants. For example, the first one is the coal power plant, the thermal power plants that we have. Then the power plants we have.
What about solar?
Solar
about
also.
Wind energy, solar energy.
Sir, different forms are there.
Bioenergy.
Sir, different forms are there, sir.
So what about these eco-sensitive regions? We have so far, we have taken so many steps to about Swachhata, basically, but still we are far behind compared to the Western countries. So what specific steps will you take if you become a district magistrate? Tell me two specific steps.
So in order to clean the city or clean the larger area, first of all, door-to-door campaign is must. Source segregation that we say.
Isn't it happening not right now?
Sir, the city that I come from and various other cities also which are in the form of tier 2 and tier 3, I do not think, sir, that is happening to a larger extent. So
okay,
then,
what about the second one?
So the second one will be the recycling plants that needs to be created, because so there has to be a streamlined way of action that is there in a particular state or in a particular city or a district. So that needs to be promoted to a larger extent.
What about our eco-sensitive regions like Himalayas, mountains, as well as coastal regions? We have CRZ regulations in the coastal region, but we don't have similar regulations in Himalayan region. So why such things are happening? Why those rules are not being implemented properly at the ground level?
Sir, I feel that it is very, very tough on the individuals as per se, because, sir, it is not easy to eliminate plastic, because the levels of multi-layered plastics and also various types of other plastics are there, which is not easy to replace, sir. So their usability is becoming a must for citizens. So firstly, we need to find an adequate alternative for it, sir. So that may be one particular solution. So if we say towards alternative, so the first thing that comes to my mind is the use of viscose fiber that is being created right now. That can be used, which is currently used in textile sector. Then, sir, there are a lot of traditional initiatives as well. So, use of various leaves that are being used in Uttarakhand and other.
Any specific examples can you give?
Sir, one example that I remember is, no, sir, right now I do not remember the examples. Sir.
Okay.
There are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. Your interview is 19, so you have time.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, you need to speak slower.
Okay, ma'am.
You like an express train. You just talk too fast. You need to think before speaking.
Okay.
You just start speaking the first thing and you keep continuing on that. You're saying the train from Delhi has gone to Calcutta, and it had to go to Jaipur actually. You get it back then. So like he asked about power plants. Power. So nuclear and there's so many types.
Yes,
then you retreated and you came back. So think and structure your reply and answer.
Okay.
Secondly, if you can speak it in one sentence, don't say 5.
Okay.
You tend to be too garrulous. You should not. There's no point in being garrulous. Be precise.
Okay.